I haven't done anything flat Earth related in quite some time. Found myself. I'm not really doing anything tonight. I was gonna go out to the bar, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, I guess. So I ended up watching this epic flat Earth debate we got One Way versus Eager Television. Should probably minimize this. I don't know. There's a couple things interesting, I guess, about this debate. So I'll highlight it here. Here we go. Well, for one, this is a Christian debate. These are Christians. They're all Christians, from what I gather. They're very nice to each other. So that's one thing. I consider myself a veteran of flat Earth debates, and I haven't really seen Christian. Usually, it's an atheist versus a Christian. I haven't really seen them all be Christians before, and it was interesting. They were pretty kind to each other, so there's a difference. Let's start. Loud. This guy, I love this guy's intro. Oh shit, it's $9.99. You flip that upside down at 666. Satan. Look at this fucking book, dude. I gotta get this book. It's probably like... They probably will stop publishing it soon because it's so racist looking.
The accuracy of these prophecies are easily substantiated. Michael Brown, who has a PhD in Near Eastern languages, voiced the accuracy of the Hebrew manuscripts because, as he explains, the scribes meticulously copy the Hebrew text letter for letter.
It's not.
Oh, I actually did learn one thing interesting that I didn't know about a logical fallacy. Was it called a sound fallacy? It had to do with how Jesus, the Son of God, like the sun in the solar system. So people will make a connection like they mean the same thing or something, or they're talking about the same thing. And the guy in the debate said that was a sound fallacy. I've never heard sound fallacy before, but I like that fallacy because I hear in the black community especially a lot, they'll like, whose brother, what was that guy's name? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I can't remember his name. That one flat earther, he's black. Bro Sanchez. He's always doing that sound fallacy stuff where, yeah, he acts like a preacher and he's spitting wisdom and he's just pulling shit straight out of his ass. He doesn't even read. It's obvious. He just does a sound fallacy thing where, these words sound similar, so it has some sort of esoteric meaning, and it's just garbage. Anyways.
Satan's coming not for your flesh, because he already has flesh right now. There's murder and death and drugs and rape in the streets right now. Okay, he's coming, his time is short, and he wants to murder your soul.
So let me explain. This is why I said if I was a libertarian, I would just go ahead and go with what's called source incompatibilism. Right? That you are the originator of your moral decisions.
Faith translated into the Greek language, because the New Testament was written in Koine Greek, is the word pistis, P-I-S-T-I-S. And pistis means, the literal translation of the word pistis is a loyalty and an assurance in something or someone.
Shalom! You're off the...
Shalom. How loud is that audio? Holy crap. Let me check that.
Ave, Reshit Da'at, Hakma'u
Yeah,
Sar
that's
Evilim Bazu. The fear of the Lord is beginning of wisdom.
Mic
Fools
check.
despise wisdom and instruction. Proverbs 1:7. I almost said problems. So welcome to everyone in the chat. We have a good.
Okay, so and this is the Flat Earther, obviously Eager Television. This is the Globe Earther. His name is One Way. We got Praise That I Am. He is the moderator.
Be a fun debate tonight, and looking forward to it. It's not meant to be a knockout, drag out type.
Flat. I didn't believe it. After about a year.
One Way, if you want to give me an
You can just hear this Eager guy. He sounds like the mind of Manny.
introduction, go ahead, my man, or Iger, if you want to give your introduction too.
Iger.
And after that, we'll get going.
All right. Well, just 30 seconds. I thought I lived on a spinning ball that came from a nothing explosion 14 billion years ago.
Wait, this is the mind of Manny. Oh my god.
For most of my life. About 4 years ago, I heard about the Earth being flat. I didn't believe it. After about a year of looking into it, I came across evolution being a lie as well. The whole rock
Oh
soup
my God,
Genesis also being a lie. Then, I became closer to God and more. I started to
That makes so much sense. Oh my god, I didn't realize it was the mind of Manny. Holy shit.
take the Bible more literal. And
Trying to take the Bible more literal.
yeah, that was it. So
Taking the Old Testament literal, I said in the chat, is whack. Maybe the New Testament? I don't know. I gotta read the New Testament again.
pretty cool stuff. Now I don't think I come from rock soup or nothing explosion anymore. Now I think we were created by God in 6 days, about 6,000 years ago. There was a flood about 4,400 years ago, and Jesus Christ walked the earth about 1,020 years ago.
Awesome.
What
Thank
the
you for your introduction
fuck?
there, Iger. One Way, if you want, you can give an introduction. If not, you can get started with your opening.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
He gets destroyed. He gets destroyed so hard by this guy. This is not fair.
So I'm not exactly sure. I lean
I
towards
think the earth is flat or something.
the globe Earth model still. I trust science, the authorities, whatnot, on that matter, because I'm not myself scientifically literate.
So they get 10 minutes. This guy has this whole thing written out.
I don't sit around
This guy's a pretty good debater, I think.
studying all this stuff that much.
Well, I don't know. He's going against Manny though, so it's hard to tell. But no, I think I don't know. I thought he did a good job.
But about a few years ago, I started to take the Flat Earth movement seriously when they began bringing the Bible into it. And so I did spend a few years trying to figure out what the deal is going on in the Bible, what these passages mean, etc. And for me, the Scripture is the ultimate authority. The Theopneustos, Word of God. That's why I'm probably going to go there most of the time. But I'm okay with examining some of the scientific views on this. Hopefully you guys enjoy.
Awesome.
Thumbs up.
Appreciate your introduction. So I'll start the timer when you're ready to go. But I have a question for both you and Iger. Do you guys have presentations, like any type of PowerPoint or?
Mine is all videos, bro. I don't know if you want to.
Mine is all videos, bro. This is why I wanted to show this debate. I have watched, like I said, I'm a veteran of flat earth debates. I've seen a lot of flat earth debates. I've never, and not even flat earth, I guess I haven't seen it, I don't know, I've seen a decent amount of debates. I watch them sometimes on YouTube, but I've never seen anyone. So Manny, you get 10 minutes opening. Manny just plays fucking videos. Like, I've never seen it.
Play them on your channel. I can send you a link.
I could send you a link.
Just,
you
it'll
can-
be better quality, I guess.
Okay.
I don't have any praise.
Okay.
Holy shit.
That sounds good, man.
I've never
and
seen
praise
anyone-
for hosting it. Well, I strongly disagree with my Christian brother.
This guy actually spent time. He worked hard. He wrote this thing out. Manny just is like, play. I got a link to a video.
At the outset, I would like to invoke Aquinas' phrase, in
Thomas
essentials
Aquinas.
unity,
Aquinas.
in non-essentials liberty, in all things charity. And hopefully we exemplify that. I don't think this topic is an essential of the Christian faith, but it is still important enough to discuss. Since the Christian scriptures are the supreme authority of special revelation for adjudicating error, most of my arguments will be scriptural. However, in the scriptures, various appeals to evidence and natural revelation are made as well, so I will provide a couple of pieces of data in that manner. My first argument from scientific or general revelation revolves around something called a gyroscope. Bob Nodell did an experiment as a flat earther by measuring the drift of an extremely precise ring laser gyroscope. The prediction was that if the globe model were correct, there should be a 15 degree per hour drift, and if the dominant unmovable or stable flat earth model were true, there should be no drift. And the experiment demonstrated a 15 degree drift, showing that whatever your model is, it must be rotating. My second argument from general revelation appeared at the end of a documentary film called Behind the Curve. It is an experiment that was devised by flat earth popularizer Jeranism to curve our persuasion in his favor, but the experiment seems to have backfired. He set up 2 panels with holes cut in them, spaced apart to shine light through at a distance in order to measure curvature. When all was said and done, the outcome was curvy. Now, more importantly, my final argument is that the Bible actually borrows, redacts, and uses common themes in the ancient Near East to express disagreement with competing worldviews rather than agreement. The authors of the Old Testament engage in a sort of literary warfare called polemical theology. Dr. John D. Kurt explains this in his book, Against the Gods, saying polemical theology is the use by biblical writers of the thought forms and stories that were common in ancient Near Eastern culture, while filling them with radically new meaning. Now, Dr. Michael Heiser believes the ancient Israelites probably believed in a flat earth cosmology, but he, like a host of others who say the same thing, also agree the text can alternatively be understood as polemical. In his book, The Bible Unfiltered, he writes that the point of these passages isn't that God was killing literal dinosaurs to transform the formless and empty world at creation. Rather, it was a polemic strategy to assert that Yahweh, not Baal, or any other deity in the ancient world, was the Lord of creation and Most High. So basically, in the ancient Near East, their ontology was more functional rather than materialistic. Various gods were seen as controlling order in the creation, like the weather and stars. In other words, it isn't until much later in human history that science was seen as separate from theology and philosophy, and a more naturalized materialistic ontology emerged. And so to polemicize against the gods then would also be an attack on their worldview, cosmology, and all. And to read the text through modern lenses would be to eisegete rather than exegete these texts in their ancient Near Eastern context. Dr. Bruce Waltke expressed this well when he said, "The biblical creation narrative serves the exiles as a polemic against Marduk. All of the above argues for a theological interpretation of Genesis 1. The narrative is designed to counter ancient and modern pagan ideas that are noxious to biblical faith. The intense debate between creationists and other scientists, between zappers and oozers over this text, results from a misreading, an attempt to read the narrative through a lens not intended by the implied author." And G.F. Hazel adds that it does also not do justice to the anti-mythical polemic of Genesis 1 to speak of the historization of myth. It appears that the Genesis cosmology represents not only a complete break with the ancient Near Eastern mythological cosmologies, but represents a parting of the spiritual ways brought about by a conscious and deliberate anti-mythical polemic, which meant an undermining of the prevailing mythological cosmologies. Indeed, in Genesis 1, like other places in the Old Testament, each of the days is an attack on various gods and their functions. In his work on biblical literalism, H. Conrad Heyer says, "What Genesis 1 is undertaking and accomplishing is a radical and sweeping affirmation of monotheism vis-a-vis polytheism, syncretism, and idolatry. Each day of creation dismisses an additional cluster of deities. On the first day, the gods of light and darkness are dismissed. On the second day, the gods of the sky and sea. On the third, day earth gods and gods of vegetation. On the fourth day, sun, moon, and star gods, etc. A similar example can be found in the book of Exodus with the plagues. Each plague is designed to be the defeat of Egyptian gods, including the Pharaoh himself. This polemicizing is not unique to the Bible and Israelite culture. As Dr. Meredith Kline explains in his book, Kingdom Prologue, the pagan cosmogonic myth, a garbled apostate version, a perversion of pristine traditions of primordial historical realities, could not pass through the conceptual grid that forms the consistent framework of the teachings of Scripture, except as already demythologized poetic idiom. Even among the ancient myth makers themselves, the practice is attested of redacting earlier cosmogonic myth with polemic intent in order to propagandize for some new development in the cult. They would so adapt the myth that the old god who was to be eclipsed would be replaced by his rival, the current favorite. The adoption of the earlier myth was thus for the purpose of rejecting its message, if not at the conceptual level of its mythological cosmogony as such, at least at the political level of rival cultic claimants. The Bible's use of the cosmogonic conflict myth is with similar but incomparably more radical polemical intent. When the biblical revelation identifies Yahweh, the living and true God, as the creator who slays the dragon, it is not a mere matter of substituting one deity for another while maintaining the essence of the myth. In its adaptation of the myth, the Bible demythologizes the myth as such. It demythologizes the hero god, it demythologizes the dragon. It rejects the mythological cosmogony and cosmology, root and branch. And that's from his book, Kingdom Prologue. This also occurs among the ancient Egyptian schools of thought as well. And an example can be found in the Shabaka stone and in the Memphite theology. Another thing to keep in mind here is that we are dealing with a culture that had no planetary concept. The use of the Hebrew word eretz bears this out because it almost always refers to local geography. If they wanted to use it in the sense of world, they would usually combine eretz with the word tabel, use the word tabel, or they would use merisms like heaven and earth. We would probably hear many such phrases by Iger like pillars of the earth or ends of the earth, and the earth being a footstool. I don't have time to go through all of these, but I will deal with a few of the major ones. Ends of the earth usually just refers to faraway regions beyond the immediate local geography, like political boundaries or the shorelines. In fact, in Psalm 67:7, it sounds like there are people there at the ends of the earth. So whatever our model is, we need some people there to fear God and worship him. Pillars of the earth usually refers to mountains or people of high social status, like kings and leaders, such as in 1 Samuel 2:8. Another interesting use is in Job 9:6, which I would argue is a polemic against Baalism, since obviously mountains can't know anything, and the text borrows motifs from pagan literature in the context regarding Marduk and Tiamat. The footstool phrase is an idiom for subjugation and humility. After battles in the ancient Near East, prisoners were brought before the enthroned king, and the king would place his feet on their head. You can find many such depictions of this in the archaeological record. There is also an example of this practice in Joshua 10:24 through 25. Another example we might hear is the signet ring being pressed into the clay in Job 38:14, which resembles the flat earth model. Interestingly, the Dictionary of Biblical Languages notes that this was more likely to be a cylinder seal that was rolled across the clay rather than a ring. And the context shows that the concrete feature being stressed is actually the light and shadows rather than the pressing. What is being changed is the shadows.
1 minute.
Verses 12 and 13 clarify. Lastly, we have the corners of the earth, but here again, this becomes problematic since angels and people are apparently there. And in Isaiah 11:12, these people will apparently be gathered from there. In summary, it is possible to take a biblical flat earth view, but if my view is correct, Christians can be open to anything but these pagan flat earth models. I did not cover any of the New Testament because the cultural river had already shifted to ball models in that context. I understand the motive for many biblical flat earthers is to challenge the evolutionary paradigm like young earth creationists do, but the flat earth model is not going to achieve that since even ancient flat earthers like Anaximander affirmed versions of biological evolution. I will close my opening with the words of eminent scholar Dr. Waltke, who said, "Inspired by the Holy Spirit, the biblical authors stripped the ancient pagan literatures of their mythological elements and fused them with the sublimities of their God, and refuted the pagan myths by identifying the Holy Lord as the true creator and ruler of the cosmos and of history. Thank you. I yield my time. Go ahead, Iger.
10 seconds, 950. Great stuff. Very interesting.
Yeah, that I thought that was fucking amazing. That guy, that was pretty good shit. I thought, and that it's unbelievable. Manny just plays a video.
Interesting. So Iger, it's your turn. You have 10 minutes in here.
You put a power full of volume.
So when I start I'll start the timer. So here we go.
Of a globe earth as well. You're failing to see this thing as a collective endeavor because you don't believe that other countries conspire together. If the earth is flat, couldn't you go to the edge and fall?
Can you maximize the video?
I'm sorry, what?
Can you make it full screen?
Can you make it full screen?
Well, you certainly got a rocking presentation here.
God, dude. Oh, this is like, the volume's kind of low for this. I'll turn it up. Holy shit.
Everything we know about the universe, what we're made of, galaxies, stars, planets, that's all right here. So, according to this chart, we are 96% stupid.
So the problem with cosmology is that we keep inventing theories, ad hoc theories, to try to explain the data, such as inflation, dark matter, dark energy, and so on, just to keep patching the theory up.
There is a crisis in cosmology. Usually in science, if we're off by a factor of 2 or a factor of 10, we call that horrible. We say something's wrong with the theory. We're off by a factor of 10. However, in cosmology, we're off by a factor of 10 to the 120.
This video is so stupid. It's like, it's cherry picking shit, right? It's really dumb. And the guy, the Globe Earth guy, eviscerates a lot of the points made in this video. This is such a dumb video.
That is one with 120.
Compare this to like what the guy did before Manny.
Zeros after it. This is the largest mismatch between theory and experiment in the history of science.
What is gravity?
What is gravity?
Yep, no idea. Okay, next question.
I don't know.
Nobody in the entire world knows why that falls.
So what is pushing this?
This is so stupid.
Why does that fall?
Why does that fall?
Newton didn't know.
We can describe it pretty accurately.
Why does that fall?
We can describe gravity. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it.
I don't need a computer to get a kid interested in that. To spend a week
so we don't know
and trying to understand it, come up with reasons why.
So what is pushing this?
And then the fucking this video. What is pushing this? What is this video? This is so dumb. And then that fucking laughing guy videos. I hate that video. It went viral. It'll be a good argument in a debate. What is this? Pictures. And fucking ODD song, man.
Have you ever wondered what it's like on other planets? Then you watch a science show and come to believe you understand it. You feel empowered by the knowledge and you feel enlightened. Listening to Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson, but then you wake up in.
Oh my God, man.
20 miles away.
Yeah, so that was your opening. I'm not
certainly had a rockin' presentation.
Sure if one way caught that.
There was mention of beings on other planets. Now I would ask.
I don't know. Not a whole lot is interesting for that.
Summer, you're gonna see Scorpio. If you go outside right now into outer space, you're just going about as high as you can go without hitting the firmament. So. There is no space trouble. The rock is always curved. They land in the Bermuda Triangle. There was so much
And then the rest is just Manny fucking being retarded and they're asking him questions.
Controversy in the Bermuda Triangle back in the days.
Wait. So do you think that the firmament is impenetrable?
It's penetrable by light, but it's impenetrable by solid things, solid matter.
Okay.
Good question for my last debate. You've been paying attention.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, bro. So I mean, what keeps you tied to this? Because do you still believe the Big Bang is real? Then
Big Bang
I think
is
that
real?
certain scriptures can support that, like the stretching of the earth, the expansion. I'm not sure. Like I said,
Why does the Bible has nothing to do with fucking this science about how the universe was created? They're totally they had no idea any of this shit when the Bible was written. I don't even know why would that be referenced when you're talking about outer space? The Bible has nothing to do with outer space.
that scripture necessitates a finite universe, even though I
all right. What else you want to talk about? Some biblical passages.
Biblical passages.
Let's see.
Well, I guess we kind of brought up most of them.
I think we covered a lot of
Do you
them.
think the moon landings are real?
We kind of read the whole
Well,
Bible.
that's sort of why I asked you if the firmament is impenetrable, right? It seems like we could go to the moon if the moon is inside the firmament on
You know what's impenetrable is Manny's thick skull.
your model, so it wouldn't be a problem.
When you say inside the firmament, picture like thick wall, like when you go to SeaWorld and you swim under the sharks and there's like a
under the sharks,
foot long piece of
under the
plexiglass in between you and the water up above you. So when you say is it in the firmament, I don't mean it's on our side of the firmament. Like, it's inside of it, in the middle of it, so you can't get to it.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Okay,
under
so
the
you
sea.
take the preposition bait to mean something like within, something like that, right?
Right, it's inside of it, and it's like a piece of glass, according to scriptures. It's like a molten piece of glass stretched out like a tent, something along those lines. So, if it's inside of it, it's not like you're taking it to mean it's inside of our atmosphere, and it's not. We got clouds in here. We got the birds. I don't think the sun, moon, and stars are they're inside of the firmament, but in between it, I should say, will be a better word.
The Time Warner Network
is called
Earth or spherical Earth, and maybe you guys could discuss that. Then we could go into questions and answers, if that's okay with you guys.
Earth Chronicle. I've lived a long life, and not all my thoughts have been perfect. So even today, that's the beauty about Jesus Christ, I guess. And I like Great Comfort where he says, if we were judged by the Ten Commandments, all of us would be in hell. All of us lied. If I love the way he does it. Like, have you ever told a lie? And then people are like, yeah, of course I told a lie. Probably, how many did you tell today? Probably like 20, 30 lies. A lot of people told every day. But, when you start looking at if we're judged by the commandments of God, we're all doomed to hell. We're all doomed for the lake of fire. So thank God for Jesus Christ that you can, through him, ask for forgiveness. And then if we're lucky enough, maybe we'll be
Manny made a good point there. I'll give Manny that.
allowed into heaven or the second earth,
Right
or
on,
whatever
Manny.
happens after this world
Yeah.
is over.
So that's a gospel call there. Thank you.
No problem.
People need to learn about that in this time of cancel culture, right? Forgiveness.
Audience, yeah, absolutely.
I heard tonight, I saw Darth Maul. So his Twitter, the actor who plays Darth Maul, Ray Parker, his Twitter account, someone posted a oral sex video, but you couldn't really see the faces of the people or something. I don't know. And then Twitter is trying to cancel culture Ray Parker now because of his account posting the oral sex video, but then it's possible, I don't know, it got hacked, or I don't know. The Twitter accounts get hacked all the time. So the point is, though, the facts haven't been determined on what happened, if it got hacked or not. This is just a recent news story, but there's already a mob of people wanting to get him kicked out of Star Wars because of this on Twitter. So it's really stupid, especially without the facts, to do this angry mob cancel culture shit. And people, you know, all those people doing it, throwing the stones at people, if something bad happened to them, they would ask for forgiveness. So anyways,
but yeah,
So
it's true, bro. I love watching.
What's that?
I like watching Ray Comfort because when you know it's his what do they call that, his salvation thing is so simple. If you know, you go out, ask people if they lied, and most people, of course, have lied at one point in their life. And then, you know, have you ever stolen anything? All right, you know, you already admitted you're a liar, so it's funny. We're gonna stop right there, you know. But yeah, good thing for Jesus Christ, because
it's sort of trolling evangelism. I get you. Yeah, it's real simple though.
It's real simple, but if you know, if you got it in your heart to ask forgiveness, if you're repentful and you really mean it, then you have a chance to not be destroyed for eternity. And when you start looking into these things, started learning about the fallen angels before the flood. That's where our Greek mythology comes from. We got Zeus, we got the Titans like Cronus, and then you know, all these mythologies and all these things. If you read the book of Enoch, all these gods actually came down here and made it with mankind, mixed with mankind, made giants, and then that's one of the reasons God flooded the earth, because all of the flesh had became corrupt. So okay, that's where the water.
Mambling.
And a half already.
Mambling. I meant to say rambling.
What's the passage?
Psalm 7:9.
Psalms.
Did you guys call me? Because I'm seeing things in the chat.
Horizon when you're flying an aircraft, which
like the guy from Garfield. And here's what he asked. So land surveyor adjust for.
So this is you're talking about that we use the kidneys. It says Psalm 7:9.
I wonder if I can find my
that we can actually see.
Where's my question?
Rejoice and all that is.
Just a minute, I'll find it for you.
You look at an AE map.
7 or 8.
In between you and the water.
When they're available, if you could, would you take those up to, take one of those tours to figure out the truth?
I know it was soon after.
I lean that to mean
trustworthy. Anything that's presented by angels and
right. Some say circle, some say sphere, and scholars
together his elect from the four winds. That by the word of God the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the voice. And let man say among the nations the Lord. Especially when you look at Judgment Day, how it says even our thoughts are going to be brought up before us for judgment. Not only our actions, but also our thoughts. So these things.
Thank you, Edgar.
No problem.
From the audience, yeah, absolutely.
But yeah,
so
it's true, bro. I love watching.
What's that?
I like watching Ray Comfort because never stolen anything. Come in and flood the earth.
Where
the flood came.
The flood.
Praise fell asleep, like bro. Crocodiles.
Oh, so I did.
Oh, my bad. So I was on the phone. Sorry about that.
I think all right, bro. Here, right? I think it's.
So this is you're talking about that we use the kidneys. It says
brains there. It's your kidneys.
Yeah, I don't know, but
they're talking about there's something in the Bible. Manny says he's a Bible literalist, and then he brings up there's some passage about you think with your kidneys or something.
Look up and like you start playing.
That's why it's like stupid. It's stupid to take the Bible literally. I think a lot of the stories are, figurative speech type stuff.
Word games and then
be one of the verses for that.
Well, you were saying that, but I'm like, where does it say that? Because
pleasure, a lot of fun. So this is from Redefined Living, and this is, I guess, addressed to you both. And here's what he asked. So land survey. It was a great discussion, really respectful, enlightening.
Okay, my question must be after that then.
before the flood. And there's still
say there's many places in South America.
Difference from going from South America to
Where's
Africa
my
or
question?
Philippines. Even when people were worshiping the fallen angels, and that
maybe my question's
all Freemasons are the
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
How do you
and
Here we
nobody
go.
takes
Found
into
it.
account the 8 inches per mile square, whether you're building roads, railways, or even flying aircraft when it's the most crucial time to account for it.
Man, I was just about to get to it, and then I went
Thank you
back.
for that
'cause I thought I
answer.
missed it.
This is from P Mars for Iger. How do you feel about every flat earther in history being associated with Freemasons? Oh, he's coming at ya.
Well, as far as I know, the only anything that's all Freemasons are the Apollo astronauts. They're all Freemasons. But I've never heard that a lot of flat earthers call out Freemasonry. They actually say Pythagoras was the Freemason, and when you start looking into that, what Pythagoras did was actually go back to study Egyptian occultist mystery schools, and that's where he got all his Freemasonry stuff from. So you even argue that Freemasonry goes all the way back to the days of the Egyptians, where they were, it was the magicians in the Bible that are trying to turn the snake into Moses is turning his staff into a snake, and the magicians that made snakes real quick. So you can go all the way back to what do they call that? The black nobility, and then you go before that. You could go all the
He just rambles on, but
way back to the Garden of Eden, even when people were
he
worshiping.
never even answered my question because he doesn't know the history of flat Earth. I don't know. You'd think if you were into flat Earth, you might want to look into the people that were talking about flat Earth. Maybe they had certain associations you might be interested in if you're into conspiracies. I'm just saying.
The fallen angels, like Zeus and Cronus and all the Greek, Roman, pagan gods, whatever. Those are all the fallen angels from before the flood, and they're still worshipped to this day. So a lot of major events that happen, a lot of these pandemics, they're doing them and worshiping these the planets, which are the wandering stars that disobey God's commandment, and that's why they're not part of any constellation.
Gotcha. So this is from Jungle Jargon.
Anyways, that's pretty much what I wanted to play of that. Maybe I'll play a video here. An apropos video.
When it comes to the Masons, at the lowest levels, and I can say this, yes, everyone knows by now, yes, there are Masons in my family, both grandfathers and their fathers' fathers and so on and so on. But my own father and none of my uncles were Masons. I never became a Mason, although I did research it quite a bit because I was intrigued because my grandfathers were into it. So I did, I read all the books. I bought several copies of Morals and Dogma, the what I call the private Masonic Bible that is passed around. It was written by Albert Pike back in the 1800s. Albert Pike's a whole other guy we'll talk about in a little bit. And so I did a ton of research. Plus, by the time I interviewed the guy for Strange World, the Mason is like, yeah, I know more.
So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me. So mote it be, so mote it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees, had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me. Between the square and compass, I'ma keep it G. From darkness to light, steady traveling east. Made an oath with God while I was down on one knee. No matter what, they'll never take my apron from me. Nothing's for free, so you gotta pay your dues. In whom do you put your faith? That's for you to choose. Follow your conductor, hoodwink with no shoes. We can never lose, these cowards are so confused. Hiram built the temple, it's our job to protect it. Thanks to the Tyler, all alarms get detected. Uphold your virtue like the Supreme Architect did. They don't understand it, but I bet that they respect it. So mote it be, So mold it be. Shout out to all my brothers through Freemasonry. Let's meet on the level. I earned 3 degrees. Had to kill me cause they couldn't get my secrets from me. So mold it.
So, it's like flat Earth is being used to initiate people into Freemasonry. Notice some of the terms: level, Masonic. Another term it's become popular for people to say levels to this. I don't know. Have you guys caught that one? I pay attention to stuff like that. They talking code, Meek Mill levels to this shit. I haven't even seen this song. It's probably shit. I don't really like Meek Mill.
Learn life. There's levels to the shit, young boy.
That's Masonic.
Shit, young boy.
Masonic! Hey, flat earthers! See, Manny's like, all the Apollo astronauts are Freemasons. Yeah, no shit. Look into the history of Freemason, or flat earth. They're all Freemasons. The guy who wrote Zetetic Astronomy, Samuel Robotham, was a Rosicrucian. And various other... There's a whole article I read on it. Some guy put together, some crazy guy. Like, the article's got a crazy bias. Maybe I should probably verify that information. It seems like, I don't know, it feels like it'd be true. But that's what Freemasons do, man. They infiltrate everything. They're everywhere. If you create an organization or a religion, they'll infiltrate it, or they'll start one or whatever. So it would be reasonable.
Learn life. There's levels to the shit, young boy.
But anyway, yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I got. Maybe I'll see if there's anyone in the chat. I doubt it, but Flatjacks. Hey, what's up, Flatjacks? One level. What the hell is that? Like pillar, Eve, pillar, slat. What is this? 2 pillars? Level. Didn't think about that. Well, yeah, that's pretty much all I had. I thought that was a weird flat earth debate. I didn't realize it was Manny. I thought he sounded like Manny. I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Must be smoking or something.